Hello students, I am Bhagyashree Bangade, MCA Department, ISMR, Pune. Now in my previous lecture, we already discussed about what is a RTOS, that is real-time operating system, what are the various features and characteristics of RTOS. Now in this video, we are going to discuss about what is an embedded system. So now let's start presentation. Now what is an embedded system? Embedded operating system is a specialized operating system designed to perform specific tasks for a device that is not a computer. You can say that it is a blend of program and equipment which is either fixed, inability or programmable. The main task or main job of embedded operating system is to run the code that allows the devices to do its job. Means what? This embedded OS can enable the embedded devices to do its particular job which is assigned to that particular machine within a large system. Now, this embedded system or OS communicate with the hardware of embedded system to perform a specific task or a function. Now, these are some examples of embedded system I listed here. Now, this embedded OS can also make a device's hardware accessible to software that is running on the top of operating system. Means here some examples are there like industrial robots. So in industrial robot also it is assigned some specific tasks to perform to run that code to that particular device that is a robot to do its that job. GPS receivers are there, digital cameras, DVD player, microwave oven, photocopiers, where our gaming consoles are there, where embedded system are used, set-top boxes are there. So these are some few examples of embedded system. Now this is the simple architecture of embedded system. Now, as we know, operating system is what? It is a actor interface between the software and hardware. So now in this also embedded system, hardware contains various applications and embedded microprocessor. And in hardware component, it contains an embedded operating system. Various peripheral devices are there for operating the various jobs. Now, in architecture of embedded system, a typical embedded system can mainly divide it into two parts. First is your embedded hardware and embedded software. Now, in embedded hardware are based around the microprocessor and microcontroller. Also, it can include memory, various buses are there for data transmission, input-output devices, various controller are there, whereas embedded software include operating systems and different applications which are needed to that particular software to run and device drivers are there. Now in architecture of embedded system, it include sensors, analog to digital converter, memory, various processor are there, digital to analog converter and actuators. Now, how this embedded system work? This is the simple architecture of embedded system. Now, this embedded OS enable the embedded devices to do its job within a larger system, like a ATM machine. Now, it can communicate with hardware for the specific system to perform its task. Now, suppose we take one example that is an elevator. So, elevator might contain embedded system such as microprocessor and microcontroller that lets it understand which buttons passenger is pressing whenever we are using elevator. So that time this embedded system or various microcontroller and processor are there, they can understand which button passenger is pressing. So this is a simple architecture of embedded system. Means this embedded software can run the system on a system for embedded OS. Now, in architecture of embedded system, one life cycle is there that we called as a embedded product development life cycle that we called as a EDLC. Now, developing of embedded system or a product mainly goes through the three phases. First is analysis, design, and implementation. Whenever any system want to develop or any product, so that product or system have the three main phases. First of all, analysis means whatever the analysis, whatever the data are required for particular that system or product, so that data will be analyzed. Now after design, in design whatever the programmable code, how to design that particular product or system. So design is a second step for that system. The third is the implementation. After designing that phase or after designing that particular product, then how it can be implemented, removing the such errors from that particular design or that system. So this is the third phase, that is the implementation. Now, if we go to little bit deeper to the development steps, so it include 7 steps. Requirement analysis, examine that analysis whatever the data requirement are there for particular system, how to design that system, whatever the programmable code for required for that. Then after designing the system, development phase is also most important. After design that system, it can develop the particular code for that product. After developing complete, testing is there. If there is any error, how to implement that system. After at the time of implementation, if any error is there, so in the testing phase, it can recover that difficulties. Then last is deployment and maintenance. So these are the 7 steps in a development. Okay, so now these are some characteristics of embedded system. As we discussed, it can perform a specific task or a functions. It is the low cost, means the price of an embedded system is not so expensive. Time specific means it can perform a task within a certain time frame. Low power, embedded system don't require much power to operate because it can follow the power consumption. So it has a various batteries are there. High efficiency level of embedded system are so high. And last characteristics is minimal user interface. The system require a less user interface and it is a very easy to use. Now these are the some types of embedded OSs. First is your multitasking operating system. Second is your real-time operating system. And third is your single loop control system. Now multitasking operating system means what? It can perform a several tasks at once. Means it can uses a various job scheduling to perform a specific task. For example, cell phone OS. It can divide up a CPU resources among the multiple tasks. In your multiple operating system, it can use a job scheduling. Job scheduling we already discussed. Scheduling means what? Various jobs and various processes are scheduled with the help of various schedulers are there. So with the help of that, it can uses the job scheduling to perform a various task or a function. Now second type is a real-time operating system. This is designed to reactive. Means in your real-time operating system, we can say that if a system can complete its work and deliver a services on a time, means in this system how some deadlines are there or some time duration is there. So within that deadline and within that time duration, it completes its tasks and deliver a particular services. That is a real-time operating system. And last type is your single loop control system. In this type, your embedded OS exercises the control over the single variable. For example, would be a temperature control in your smart home. So these are the three types of embedded operating system. Now the last point is in your side is that advantages of embedded system and disadvantages. So first advantages of embedded OS is that it is a fast in performance, it consumes less power, it is in a small shape and size, it uses a small code for that. This system is so scalable and reliable. It work on a wide variety of sectors and environment. As we see, the various examples are there, like digital cameras are there, microwave oven, industrial robots are there. So in a wide variety of sectors, this system is used. So obviously it can improve the product quality and enhance a performance. So when this system can perform the specific tasks without error, so obviously it can improve the performance of that particular system. Now these are some disadvantages of operating system. It is difficult to back up the embedded files. Sometimes it's complex to develop. Integration may be problem. The next disadvantages is offer a very limited resources for processing. Troubleshooting may be difficult and maintenance may be problem. Why? Because in this system also it can allow to hardware accessible on a particular machine. Okay, so there is a maintenance may be some problem. So these are some disadvantages of operating system. Now, thank you students.